Good morning, class 8 students. Last week we have done with our first chapter. So today I am going to start with the second chapter, land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. The whole book of geography of a class 8 is based on the resources. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. In a small village in Tanzania, Africa, Mamba gets up very early in the morning to fetch water. She has to work a long way and returns after a few hours. She then helps her mother in the house and joins her brother in taking care of their goats. All her family owns is a piece of rocky land around their small hut. Mamba's father can barely grow some maize and beans on it after working hard. This is not enough to feed their family for the whole year. It's only a short story which I am going to read for you. Peter lives in the heart of the sheep rearing region in New Zealand, where his family runs a wool processing factory. Every day when he returns from school, Peter watches his uncle taking care of their sheep. Their sheep yard is situated on a wide grassy plain with hills in the far distance. It is managed in a scientific way using the latest technology. Peter's family also grows vegetables through organic farming. So in this we have reading about two different stories of Mamba. One is Mamba who is living in Tanzania and the other is Peter who is living in New Zealand. So Mamba, they are only having a small piece of rocky land where they used to grow maize and beans. That also after working very hard. On the other side is Peter who lives in New Zealand, where his family is running a food processing factory. So these are the two stories. Mamba and Peter stay in two different parts of the world and lead very different lives. Both the Mamba and Peter, they are living in different parts of the world and they are living different lives. This difference is because of the difference in the quality of land. Why is there difference in their lives? Because of the difference in the quality of land, the soil, water, natural vegetation, animals and the usage of technology. These all things are different. That's why they are living different lives. The availability of such resources is the main reason places differ from each other. So now the availability of resources. Wherever there are good availability of resources, there they are leading a good life. Compared to Mamba who is living on a rocky land and they are growing just maize and beans over there. So on the other hand, Peter, he is living in a New Zealand region and working and having a wool processing factory. So that's only because of the available resources. That is the main reason why their lives are different from each other. So basically the story is telling about the availability of resources. Our lives depend on the availability of resources only. Like land, how is the land over there, the soil, whether it's fertile or no, availability of water, natural vegetation and wildlife resources. So now the first resource we are talking about is land. Land is among the most important natural resources. It covers only about 30% of the total area of Earth's surface, and all the parts of this small percentage are not habitable. So land, it is the most important natural resource. We used to live on the land. We are living on the land. And land, it covers only about 30% of the total size of the earth's surface. And all the parts of this small percentage is also not habitable. Habitable means it's not that in each and every part of this available land all are living. No. The uneven distribution of population in different parts of the world is mainly due to varied characteristics of land and climate. Uneven distribution means on some places it's sparsely populated and at some it is densely populated. Why is this so? Because of the land and the climate. If we go to the mountains, it's not densely populated. Mountains are not densely populated. Why? Because life is hard in the mountains, because the land is not smooth, it's not plain, it's rough. And also in the mountains it's very much hard to grow the crops for for the agricultural activities. Life is hard in the mountains compared to the plains. And also the climate. Climate is very harsh in the mountains. As we go in the mountains, its temperature, it decreases over there. And where compared to the land, temperature is also favorable. That's why on the plains it is densely populated, whereas in the mountains it is sparsely populated. The thing is that the rugged topography, the steep slopes of the mountains, low-lying areas susceptible to waterlogging, desert areas, thick forested areas are normally sparsely populated or inhabited, which I told you also in the mountains or where if low-lying areas where waterlogging is there, desert areas, these all areas, forested areas, these all are the sparsely populated. People don't prefer to live in these areas, whereas plains and river valleys offer suitable land for agriculture because of the availability of fertile land and water availability also. So plains and river valleys are suitable for agriculture, so they are densely populated areas of the world. Now clear to hear all this topic? Now moving on to land use. Land is used for different purposes. You all know land is used for different purposes such as agriculture, forestry, mining, building houses, roads and setting up of industries. We all use our land for these purposes. This is commonly termed as land use. The different purpose for which we are using the land is termed as land use. Can you list out the different ways in which Mambas and Peters family use their land? You can find out the different ways in which Mamba and the Peters family are using their land. The use of land is determined by physical factors such as topography, soil, climate, minerals and availability of water. So the use of land is determined. It depends on the physical factors. How is the topography over there, the soil over there, land, the minerals and the availability of water. If there is no water, if there is less water, then what? Agriculture will not be possible on that particular land. Or the climate, if it's very harsh over there, then also agriculture won't be favorable. Agriculture won't be much progressing over these places. Human factors such as population and technology are also important determinants of land use pattern. So human factors such as population, how the area is, it is densely populated or it is sparsely populated, and how the technology is over there. Are the people living in those places, they are skilled and technology is good over there. That also a major determinant for the land use pattern. These are both the things, like human factors such as population, if it's sparsely populated or densely populated, and technology. They are also the important determinants of land use pattern. Land can also be classified on the basis of ownership as private and community land. So land is further classified also on the basis of ownership. Is it a private land or a community land? Private land is owned by individuals, whereas community land is owned by the community for common uses like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts or medicinal herbs. These community lands are also called common property resources. So what do you understand by common property resources? The land which is used for common uses like collection of fodder, fruits, nuts or medicinal herbs. These community lands are called common property resources. People and their demand are ever growing, but the availability of land is limited. As discussed earlier, we have just 30% of the total area of the earth as land. So, we just have 30%, but the people and the demands are ever growing. It's increasing day by day. The quality of land also differs from place to place, and also the land differs from place to place. Somewhere it's plain, somewhere it's rugged surface. People started encroaching the common lands. So the common lands are used by the community for collection of fodder, fruit, nuts and so on. So people are using those common lands to build up commercial areas, housing complexes in the urban areas, and to expand their agricultural activities in the rural areas. So they are using the common property resources, the community land, for their own purposes. Today, the vast changes in the land use pattern also affect the cultural changes in our society, as there is a vast change in the land use pattern today. So that also reflects the cultural changes in our society. Land degradation, landslides, soil erosion, desertification are the major threats to the environment because of the expansion of agriculture and construction activities. You understand this? Because of the expansion of agriculture, we need land for agriculture and also for construction activities. That is these are the threats. As land degradation is happening, landslides are taking place, soil erosion, because we are cutting down the trees, so soil erosion is there, desertification, because we are cutting down the forest for our agriculture purposes or for the construction activities. So land degradation, landslides, soil erosions, desertifications, these are the major threats to the environment. Because why? Because we are expanding our agriculture and construction activities. So in this class we will be doing till here. I hope it's all clear to you all. Students, this week you are having an assignment also based on this 2 pages only. You just go through these two land and land use and do the assignments in your copies. Okay students, thank you.